Okie dokie. Let's make sure this is working. Testing, 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 testing. Alright. Here we go. Alright, we're back at it. Here we go. Let's give it a few minutes. I just shared the live stream to the social medias and all that stuff. Give it a few minutes for people to hop in. I figured I did so good. I figured I did pretty good with the Silent Hill 2 game that I've been trying to come up with more games that I can do on here. And figured I'd keep the horror trend when it comes to these like commentaries and all that, at least for now. And since Resident Evil 9 is coming up soon, not soon, but like within a few months, why not play all the Resident Evil games? So I do have this one. I do have the OG PS1 version, like that director's cut thing I can download. And there's also going to be play 2, the PS1 version of 2 and 3, and also the remakes. Resident Evil 4. I don't have 5 or 6 yet, but I will. Just to play all of them, and then also play 7 and 8 as well. And yeah, just figured I'd try to see if I could play all of them, up until release. And there's other games I'm thinking of too. There's also New Game Plus for Silent Hill 2 remake as well that I got to do. That I definitely want to. So it ain't the end of Silent Hill 2 yet, for me. I'm just figured I do different games, you know what I mean, after I complete a playthrough and stuff. Do like another franchise, another series, or something like that, you know what I mean? And sort of get a little bit more used to the commentary and all that stuff too, and you know what I mean? And, I had a lot going on, personal life, and there's still a lot going on, but I figured today was the perfect time to get back into this, So for anybody hopping in, welcome. Uh, you know, so I figured I'd try to make this more of a thing. This is going to be I'm going to be doing the whole Resident Evil series, basically. That's my plan. And there's like I said, there's other games. Silent Hill 2 remake. I want to do the New Game Plus and get like a different ending. Also what I want to do is, sort of go back on my other playthroughs that had no commentary, and I figured I'd go back and play some of them and have like commentary on here, talk my shit, be sort of like my goofy self, and all that stuff. So yeah, figured I, sort of do something different, with this YouTube and Twitch stuff. So, and I know there was a little bit of time between Silent Hill 2 and finishing that up Halloween week, and my live stream now, my streaming schedules are very erratic. Sometimes I'll take a long ass hiatus because I have personal stuff going on in my life. So, bear with me. You know, uh, I usually always try to stream as much as I can on here, especially because, you know, I figured, the Silent Hill 2 remake was a lot of fun, so I kind of want to do more of these. And I figured Resident Evil would be the next thing to start, the most logical next thing to start after doing that, especially with Resident Evil 9 coming up. So there are other games that I'm going to be doing with commentary like this and just, whatever. I honestly have played this version of Resident Evil once. And I only played the Jill Valentine, playthrough. So I'm going to do both characters in this whole, little playthrough thing going on here. I'm gonna do Chris first because I never played as Chris, and then I'll play as Jill because I've already played as Jill, like personally, like in this, at least in this game. Um, and it's been years and years since I played the OG Resident Evil 1 for PS1. But I'll be doing both, you know. And same thing with Resident Evil 2 and 3 and the remakes and the remakes and all that. I don't have the OG Resident Evil 4. Um, yo, Bubbles was cracking, bro. Um, but I will get that. And it's been a long time since I've done OG Resident Evil 4, so that'd be interesting to do. And so yeah, over time I'll get all the Resident Evil games. You know, I figured this would be a long ass like road here. Eventually, I'll end up doing every single one of these Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all that. Um, so far I have this, the OG Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil OG Resident Evil 2 and 3, and also the remakes. I do have the Resident Evil 4 remake. I don't have 5 or 6, and I don't have the OG Resident Evil 4, but eventually I'll get around to that. And I also have Resident Evil 7, and I also have 8. So I have almost all of them. So I figured just start with this one right here, you know? And so yeah, the character I'm doing here is going to be Chris. I'm going to be doing Chris Redfield for this one. Because I never played as Chris in this version. I only played as Jill Valentine. And I only played Jill and Valentine's role once. But I'm gonna do both, but the first character I'm doing is Chris. Um, so that's the plan. There are other games. I'm gonna get my own ending for Silent Hill 2 remake at some point, probably in between one of these games. I figured like that's like playing all the Resident Evil games now up until February. Like that you know, given my like how you know, given my erratic schedule, where I'll like do a bunch of streams and then like take a break. That should be plenty of time and plenty of games to do, and then in between I'll do some other stuff. But my main focus is going to be doing all these Resident Evil games, and in between I'll probably do a stream or something of something else, and get a little bit used to the commentary. Yeah, I just got done making food as well, man. I made a huge thing of mac and cheese right here. I'm already decked out and ready to go. I got some mac and cheese. I got some soda. You know, I spent some good time with my family. That's what kind of took me a little bit. And also, my mom got into a really bad car accident, so I kind of was dealing with all that. And you know, but I did get some. You know, but my mom's okay though. You know what I mean? Like, thank God, like she didn't get hurt or anything like that. But the car is totaled. So there's that. There's that situation. Um, but I'd rather the car get totaled than have anything happen to my mom. So you know, everything happens for a reason. I'm just grateful that nobody got hurt. And yeah, but now everything's kind of chill, um, and everything's kind of like low key. And I also had to get over being sick, so that's why I'm a little bit stuffy. But we're gonna make it work. You know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. For real, man. Cars are replaceable. Mothers are not replaceable, but cars are. You know what I mean? Um. So yeah. So yeah. So now things are a little bit more chill. Like you know, I'm starting to feel better. I'm not as stuffy or congested, but you can definitely hear it in my voice probably. So yeah, I had a lot going on after the Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm gonna be going back to Silent Hill 2 though, to basically do the New Game Plus, and to try and go for a different ending than what I got. I did do a little bit of deep dive, like YouTube videos, like you know, just getting sort of like having it explained to me better about what it is all about. I kind of already understood a lot from what you told me, but after doing a little bit more lore research and everything, I kind of understand the story a lot better. So I'll be going in there more initiated. So that'll be a little bit more interesting, knowing what to expect basically, and kind of knowing what I need to do to get a different ending basically. But not knowing too much. I just know a little bit. I didn't try to like get too into it because I kind of want to make it like a fair, like it could be any ending type of thing. But yeah, and so like yeah, there's a bunch I got planned for these games and getting more used to. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it does have a deep lore, but I just kind of like looked into it enough to understand at least Silent Hill 2 itself and all that, and what other and all what like I was able to understand the lore through just that game and looking into that game alone. But I also know I don't want to look too much into like the other games and their stories because I want to sort of play them first. And if it's anything like Silent Hill 2, like I can't wait for the Silent Hill 1 remake. um, so yeah, this is going to be the one I'm doing first for Resident Evil. We're now on the road to Requiem. What is it? This month is November, so how many more months till Requiem? We got this November, December, January, February. About a couple months. About 3 months. Right? I figured that's a perfect time to sort of, for the holiday season onward. Yeah. Figured like for the holiday season throughout like November and December, maybe. I'm aiming to finish as much of these games as I can before Resident Evil Requiem comes out. I'll definitely be playing that game, pre-ordering that. Um, but yeah, I'm basically aiming towards playing every single Resident Evil game, all the mainline titles and their remakes, up until 8. You know what I mean? And Village of Rose and all that. So that way I have all of them in my belt basically on this channel here, and they're all commentary. All of it's going to be commentary. I figured get more in the habit of doing this and just sort of talking my shit, sort of like chill here, like kind of like all the other streamers do it, sort of get more in that groove. Um, so yeah. Um, buckle up. That's going to be a long ass road. I'm not playing any of the like spin-off ones really, unless like I mean I'll look into them for sure, but I'll probably play them like it'll probably be after the mainline titles and all that. I'll play the spin-offs like after all the mainline titles, after I finish like all the other games like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till 8. Then I'll try to look at like Revelations or any of the other ones because I know I definitely never played like all of them. You know what I mean? I definitely played at least all of the mainline titles for sure. And I still got to get OG4 and then 5 and 6 to be able to do. Resident Evil 5 will be interesting because the AI sucks dick. So that'll definitely be something where, you know, where say like try to set something up where I can have like another player to do co-op like you or something. You know what I mean? That'll be something in the further future, I guess. That'll be something that I can work. We could try and find a way to work that out or something. That'll be pretty cool. Um, because I know the AI for for Shiva, yeah, like because I know it's better to play with 2 players than to have the AI be your other player, the other partner or whatever in Resident Evil 5. So that'll be something. That'll be something a little bit, you know. I'm basically making Resident Evil like the mainline like games that I'm going to be playing for the next 3 months. I will play other stuff in between. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll play other stuff too, in between possibly, but definitely going to be focusing on Resident Evil for the next couple months in preparation for Requiem. And then on day 1, Requiem is gonna Requiem. I'm gonna be streaming Requiem like as soon as I get to play it. You know. So yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. It's gonna be one hell of a it's gonna be a hell of a holiday season, huh? Resident Evil for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and for New Year's. Even for Valentine's Day. What do you know? So yeah, figured get and also it kind of like I keep the horror vibes going on too, like for like the commentaries too, because I haven't really tried doing commentary for any other vibes for like genre besides horror, and I figured horror is a good place to start. So this kind of keeps that same like atmosphere, you know, and you know I I don't know what to really expect per se on this game because I've only ever played it once and I've only played as Jill. I've only played one playthrough of this and I played as Jill. So, and I don't remember anything of it because it was like it's been a couple years since I've done it. So I'm going into this game sort of blind too because it's been a long time since I played Resident Evil 2. I mean Resident Evil 1, even before I tried out this remake a couple years ago. So like any sort of memories I have of Resident Evil 1 when I used to play it a lot back when I was younger, there is no memories to speak of. Like I could be trying to pull memories and try to put it in a pensieve, it's gonna come up blank. That pensieve's gonna be blank. I don't remember shit. So, and I know it's gonna be really awkward getting used to the getting used to the tank controls that they have in this version. I know that took me a minute when I played this the first go around a couple years ago. This version, so that'll be interesting to sort of get used to again. It's the old school way of playing it, basically. But yeah, it'll be. So this game's gonna have nostalgia while also keeping that same sort of genre, that same vibe, as Silent Hill, sort of. So yeah, you know, it's gonna be fun. I also there's gonna be a new. Remember, you know how like everybody can always hear my Bic lighter whenever I'm smoking my weed. Now there's gonna be a new noise that is gonna let people know that I'm smoking my weed. You ready for this? Ready for this? Okay, here we go. One, shoot the barrel. Two, circle the dragon. Three, cheers. I got a new bong. The bubbly bubbly. Now every time you hear the bubbly bubbly, you know I'm smoking that marijuana. It's gonna be nice. That's gonna be my signature sound. Whenever I actually get around to editing these streams and these like commentator streams and make them into like little like montages of funny moments, I wonder what the death count is gonna be for this one. I know, right? I'm surprised, dude. I honestly, I'm still flabbergasted that I did not die a single time in my first ever playthrough of Silent Hill 2. Like my first go at it, and I didn't die once. I was kind of surprised. So yeah, no, I expect myself to die in this game at least a couple times. There's gonna be some times where I'll die for sure. But I do remember some things about this version though. When you kill when you kill these zombies, you have to burn them. I remember that much. And they do come back. If you don't kill them, they come back as red demons with like fucking giant ass claws, and they're relentless. So I do remember that. I do remember that. And the only thing I remember besides that is the Lisa Trevor boss fight. Because it was pretty memorable when I first played it. So other than that, I don't remember much. Other than a few like campy one-liners and that snake too, because it keeps showing it to me, so now I remember it. So yeah. Yeah, no, I was surprised how good I did with Silent Hill 2. I definitely handled myself pretty well. I look back at that last video where I got when my first the first time I saw Pyramid Head creeping down the hall, and like how I reacted to that. It like I guess it like froze when he first creeped down the hall. The stream froze for a split second, so it didn't get my initial like oh like with the first like upon the first time I seen him. But you and I both know what happened there. Yeah, man, that was hilarious. But no, it like when you go back and look at that specific part, you know, that narrow hall when I first ever saw him creep, it didn't get my initial reaction at that split first reaction of oh shit, and then I turn around and run and go up that ladder. No, it did it cut out up until I was already running down the hall and climbing up the ladder or something. So like, I was disappointed in that because I wanted to go back and listen and see that reaction because I know I was kind of, but it did get the other one, the other good one, the one where I kind of reacted to him busting through the wall and then I was like, "Fuck off!" It did get that. It didn't fuck up for that one. So yeah, no, I got some. There was some good. There's definitely some good footage in that. There's definitely good footage in that. For good content for those streams for sure. um, yeah, for real, bro, dude. Yo, dude, and you know what's funny? I can literally make that into one of those funny montage moments of like different games. You know how some YouTubers do it and edit a funny montage of shit. I can definitely clip that one moment of me being like, after I saved and go down that hall, and I'm like, I swear a pyramid head pops up again, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then he busts through the fucking wall, and then I just pause and I'm like, why? And then the fuck off right after. Like I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know where to go either, because I thought I wasn't able to go through that fucking that portal full of fucking worms or whatever. So I went trying to run down back where I came from, and then it was the dead end. I'm like, no, fuck, no. I thought that was gonna be my first death. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna die right there. I thought that was it for me. It was like, this is my first death. It's over. No zero death run. I love how they give you proof of that too. They actually show zero deaths. So yeah, um, this is different than Silent Hill for sure, obviously, but it's still gonna keep that horror vibe going. Oh God. Okay. So I think I've sat here and sort of talked my shit long enough. Time to light up this cigarette after smoking some weed. Light up this cigarette. How do I get out of this? Okay, there we go. Press any button. Cool. Okay. Loading content. No save data exists. You must create a new save. Okay, fair enough. Let's start it. Create the file. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, it does say load games, so I actually do have like a file. I still have the file, I think, of which one is it? Because I remember doing a Jill Valent. No, nope. It just tells me I can load, but I can't. I don't really. I can't really load.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Okay, so game setup. Adjust the settings for the game. Okay, so use the new control scheme or the original. I'm gonna just keep everything how it is. I don't see a reason to change anything and just keep it as it is. If I need to change anything, I'll do it as I go. But I think I'm okay with this. Okay. How do you like your games? Oh wow. We're not choosing a difficulty? Is I remember this being the difficulty setting, right? This is how you set up your difficulty. Um, like climbing a mountain, fulfilling but takes a lot of work. Like going on a bike, good exercise but not too strenuous. You can relax, enjoy yourself. I mean, this is basically saying, okay, so that's supposed to be hard. That's supposed to be normal. That's supposed to be easy. I'm getting that vibe. So we're going for number 2. We're going for the middle. We're going for normal. All right. Okay, so going for Chris Redfield. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. And here we go. We're starting. But gentlemen, start your engines.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Brad. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris!
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict.